know, he's a lot like a Jadong tank.
I don't know if somebody just got murdered in our front row, but that did not sound like cheering. All right.
A lot of fans for these guys, but
we'll never know if it was a murder. We don't get a shot of that front.
I do want to point out again how alike MMA's career has been to Jadong's. Jadong was someone that they pulled out when he first joined the StarCraft 1 Pro scene. There's some crazy fans.
There are two crazy fans still cheering to the front. Excuse me.
But
go ahead, please.
Back to that. Basically, they started pulling Jadong and putting him in against really top-end players. And he was just killing them every time. He hit a top-end guy. If he hit a lower-end guy, maybe not. And he got the nickname Legend Killer for a bit until he became the sickest legend of all. And MMA, I mean, they started putting him out in the team league a lot, and he was killing nerds left and right. The best ones, putting out to snipe people like MC, like MMA, like Nesty. And he was winning, man. And he started killing legends, and now look at him. He's one of the highest-ranked players in the world, and he defeats pretty much everyone on a regular basis.
As you can see here, mirror build so far.
Well, this is definitely a map that you're going to want to go for a quick command center on a lot of the time. And we do see that they both are, of course, double barracks by MVP, though, and gas, a single gas by MMA. And that's interesting because we've actually seen MVP play this map, TVT, multiple times, and he always goes for mech on this map. But this time, adding the double barracks, this is going to be something to throw off his opponent. His opponent's going to be thinking, okay, most likely we're going to see mech from MVP here. So what does MVP do? He says, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to go for something different. And that is, I love thinking like that.
Well, you know, MVP,
it's so smart.
He's got more builds than anybody else. I think that's his
he
strongest point.
For best of 5s, best of 3s, and best of 7s. Better than anyone else in StarCraft 2. There's no question about that.
And that's why you see his incredible success rate generally in the finals of GSL.
If I'm MMA practicing after I saw MVP win for this map last night, and I play 5 games here, I play them all against mech. I tell Ryung, okay, go mech against me every game.
Yeah.
But now he has to play against a different style here. It's just, it's so smart, guys.
He might actually just get another command center here. Yeah, he is. He gets enough Marines out here to be safe,
man.
and then he makes another command center. Okay.
Double barracks. He's still got no gas. This is the equivalent of ZVP, where they go 3 hatcheries with no gas and just have a lot of minerals.
This is like, it's like a variation of Marine King Prime's build. It's Marine King Prime's build on steroids.
It's like half the racks, double the
expanse. It's on steroids with a nose job.
That was sick. It's so handsome and ripped.
Yeah.
All right, MMA
it's got
right
a good
now.
nose, too.
MMA looks like he's going up to Banshee. He's already getting his 3rd gas. It's quite interesting, Tasteless. I just can't wait to see what MVP does from here. Oh, look at this. Adding more racks. Makes sense. He's going to get a sick explosion of monies. And a nice scan. That is a money scan right there.
He knows exactly what's up.
Yeah.
That actually could not have been a better place scan. Could not have been better, guys.
Seeing the extra racks confirms that it will be a Marine-centric build.
And this is very intentional by MVP because of his build yesterday. Because his build is the polar opposite.
Yeah, this
There's
is
almost no way that MMA would have expected this coming.
Yeah, yesterday he opened with a cloaked Banshee rush into a couple expansions with mech, and just completely crushed. Well, he didn't completely crush. Polt did pick him apart for a bit, but MMA, or MVP rather, ended up winning. So that's, I mean, it's just so smart to switch completely what you're doing here. We do have Cloak on the way for MMA, who's also making another command center, getting ready to expand. And he hasn't shown yet whether he wants to go for mech or he wants to go for bio. He's getting a lot of gas, but only has 1 barracks and isn't doing anything with his factory. This is interesting by MMA.
Now, the Banshee's out. Now, here's the only problem for MMA right now is with this build from MVP, you generally don't lose SCVs against the Banshees because there's so many Marines. They can...
Yeah, you just lose Marines.
Yeah, you just lose Marines. And actually, that's kind of fine because
it's all right.
He's got such an income right now with 3 orbitals.
And he's even got 2 turrets at that natural behind his base. No turrets anywhere else yet. He's going to try to use the Marines to zone out those areas from the Banshee. So Banshee going to be very useless coming in from this angle. +1 already on the way for MVP as well.
I do like the turret play here in this back expansion.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's very tough to
It's not
actually
gonna
get
get many
these
kills.
SCVs.
And now you can decide, do I make more turrets or don't I? In the meantime, MMA has decided he's adding more barracks. He is also going double eBay very quickly. So he is going for just standard Marine. It's going to be a Marine tank versus Marine tank game. But very smartly, MMA says, okay, I'm a little bit behind on expands. I got to go ahead. Actually, he doesn't know about that expand yet, does he? All right, so he actually doesn't know about the expand, but he's going for the quick double eBay, which is very smart. If you have more upgrades in your Marines, they simply do better. It's pretty simple, guys.
Artos is dropping knowledge here.
Sickest knowledge bombs.
All right, now you can get some SCVs.
Nice micro right now by MVP. Doesn't get any kills on SCVs yet. A lot of damage on that.
Remember, they have combat shields now, so it's 3 shots to kill a Marine, which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Nice save there by MMA.
And he draws it in, and it
Okay.
lives. Oh, he doesn't want to use that scan on that.
He can't do that to me, man. I got blood pressure problems, man. He can't just scare me like that.
All right, so MMA right now just pumping out some medevacs while he's harassing here. Okay, he does take it down. But MMA, with his double upgrades going, pumping out some medevacs, we may see him put on a little bit of pressure because he does have those pretty quick medevacs out, whereas MVPs are a lot slower because he did do the double expansive quickly. Now, as far as SCVs go, very similar count. In fact, 61 for MMA, 56 for MVP. He's been very busy not building as many SCVs as his opponent, despite the quicker third command.
Okay, now we have a drop coming in here. Note Stim is going to finish about the same time. I do like the Marauder there in the middle. That'll kill anything ground-related quicker than a, for instance, a Scouting Marine would. Obviously, it's not going to do too well against the Cloaked Banshee. Even if it was uncloaked, it still wouldn't do that well against the Banshee. Uh-oh, he's got to be careful. Insta-killed, but will this drop do too much damage with MVP out of position?
Oh boy, definitely could taste this. He is way out of position right now. Don't forget, he also has one less upgrade as soon as he's finished, which is about to happen right now. 1-1 finishes as he unloads. He does have combat shields and stim.
Oh my god, MMA put this in the exact perfect location.
And MMA gonna lose the medevac, so actually MVP gonna finish this off. And MMA trying to target down SCVs as he can. MVP takes a supply lead there, but killed 10 workers. That's, well, I guess actually.
That just evens it out to 61 to 62.
MMA finally going to take his low ground base. Now we get to see MVP in action. He's secured his bases completely. All the harassments, as a Terran player, he's going to look at and say, okay, the harassments are done for now. He can't really do that again. It's a little bit too risky. Now what does he do? He's going Marine tank against Marine tank. He's still one of the best Marine tank players in the world, although known more for his mech.
All right.
And oh my.
He's stimming. He's going for it.
Siege tanks there. He's got to be careful.
Ninja vanish. No way those siege tanks are going to hit him now.
I love the good siege tank timing. MMA and MVP both adding their second backs right now, but MMA does have those 3 siege tanks with siege mode out on the battlefield. And that's a pretty big deal. Both players going for the +2 upgrades, but actually MMA not starting that +2 armor quite yet. Slight mismanagement of his
He scans.
upgrades.
He sees that that army's headed towards him. I think he wanted to see if he could actually go around him. But now he's going to have to try to flank him.
He's actually, he might get it. Okay, he does have a couple tanks sieged up. But it's got, look at that. MMA actually just scanned to see how close the army of MVP was. He knows it's a little bit off. So he's going for it. Perfect timing right here. But MVP stimming coming up from behind. The siege tanks there. He's going to be able to take those out. But oh no, they actually a couple volleys do get off. And does MVP actually have enough here?
He needs to get that siege tank for one.
Oh,
it does.
Man. His supply
and
plummets.
just barely. MMA is coming out on top. He probably want to turn around after he gets the siege tank.
Oh, and he's going to lose some medevacs perhaps. 2 go down. MMA perfectly done. MVP taking the wrong path home. And MMA, he saw that was happening. He made the scan. He checked where the army was, decided he could bust the front, killed half the army, then killed the other half, and got out of there. That was beautifully done. He outmaneuvered MVP. MVP definitely is going to feel that. He is far behind at this point.
Right now, MMA with about a 40 supply lead here against MVP. MVP may be taken out by a kill move here from MMA. We're going to see momentarily. He's moving forward.
And
he could just drop into the main.
Yeah, you may in fact do that.
Yeah.
If all the Marines are down there, you can do that. So quick look at this. 5 medevacs full. Holy crap. All right, here we go. MMA not going to be happy with this one, Tasteless.
Certainly not Artosis.
Or MVP, rather. MMA going to be very happy with it, perhaps. He's got to be careful. And look at that, drawing fire back into the tank line. And in fact, he just reloaded. Looks like he wants to get out of there. Oh, yeah, siege tanks. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, they're all right.
They got a lot of range, Artosis.
That was perfectly placed by MVP. So right now we do have like a 26 supply lead by MMA. But MVP is sneaking and expand towards top left. No additional expands yet for MMA. A lot of pressure going on right now.
He's stimming and moving out. He wants to get the siege tanks. He needs to pick up the siege tanks.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow, talk about
running in.
Scary player.
By the way, right now, upgrades in the lead for MVP. MMA going to catch up, though, very shortly.
And here comes the 4th base now, starting here for MMA.
This is so many Marines out in this map. Both players just constantly pumping out tanks, making more barracks all the while, making command centers, getting ready. Oh, look at this. Getting the tanks. God. And now going back to his own tank line, but does he have enough Marines?
I don't know if MMA should be this close. There are too many siege tanks. Those Marines are going to melt, and they did.
MVP. So good.
Man, that was quite a trade.
Yeah,
now we have actually a 15 supply lead here for MVP.
He switched that around. He was down by 20-ish, and now he's up by 15. It's a big deal, man. Big deal. And in fact, here we go once again, moving up the siege tanks, spreading these Marines oh so beautifully so the splash is minimized. And in fact, he may clean up this little army as more and more Marines do rally down.
Yeah. All he has to do is take out those siege tanks.
That is right, and unsiege his tanks, bringing them down, attack, moving them towards the south, taking it out, and MVP takes a nice lead right there.
Damn. You know, MVP is one of the things that makes him so good. He just bounces back.
Yeah, and here's another thing that's really interesting. I mean, even though he got behind early on by some nice moves of MMA, MVP gets how to play every piece of TVT. He can do any strategy, and he can do it better than anyone else. It's actually insane.
So, with the massive lead that MMA had has now been, I don't even know if I want to say bungled, just deflected, because MVP handled himself so well in that crisis situation.
Well, right now scanning, trying to move forward.
He's going to do it yet again. I'm surprised to see him attacking to that many Stim Marines.
I got to say, man, this is a very big choke point here, or a very small choke point. It's quite a choke point indeed. And, ooh, I like the MMA adding in a few Vikings. He wants to keep that air advantage. He does have the Zollinger Watchtower as well. So MVP is going to have to break through there somehow. He is still up by 30 supply.